This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll run with Hall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think?
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And into the end zone, it's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this team is disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Lance looking to throw it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down, that's what they talk about.
He's got a man, complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Yeah, that will be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
And Johnson's kick is good.
And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start by running the option to the right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and that'll keep this a 9-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. From just shy of midfield, Lance.
Right back to Davis. It's complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
In 2021, Corey Davis made the move from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Jets, but injuries limited him to only 9 games. When healthy, though, he had begun to show the promise that made him a top 5 pick by the Titans. A promising rep there, getting a first down.
Hall on a give up the middle, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Lance. Open man is Uzama.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From midfield, here's Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
On first down, Lance. There's Hall bringing in another one. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And Lance now to throw.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lance. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Now Lance again.
Rolling to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And they'll remain 2 scores back as this holds at a 9-point advantage.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Rodgers. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 33. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and that'll keep this a 9-point game. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
Out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Now Lance.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And he missed it. It's no good. And they'll remain 2 scores back as this holds at a 9-point advantage.
I'd say that it's fair to say nothing has gone right in this first half for them. Even here, you've got a chance to at least get on the board, but that goes by the wayside. And now, this coaching staff, they've got to figure out some way to wake this team up at halftime to get them going.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these 2 teams. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Steps away. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And the Jets will take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
97 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. Throwing on first down is Lance.
Wilson's got it complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Sliding out of the pocket. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Breece Hall, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. And this one's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
145 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here's Hall again.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
To throw, it's Lance. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the question now, can they get closer on 3rd down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown.
Garrett Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got room.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 60 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
Lance now on 1st down.
And he'll find Hall. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Jets, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6.